everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see the runner-up and Rookie of the Year balloting Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns as they match up with the longtime Raven Joe Flacco and his new team, the Denver Broncos. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, the day's growing a bit shorter, and folks in these parts are gearing up for ski season, but we've got football to keep us busy from Broncos Stadium at Mile High. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Cleveland Browns. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Broncos head out for their first drive, and at the controls in his first season in the Mile High City, a former Super Bowl champion in Joe Flacco. And in Baltimore, they drafted Lamar Jackson. Eventually, he would take over for Flacco Week 10 a season ago. So Flacco out. Well, the Broncos said, we still think he has some time left in his career. They bring him in for some stability at quarterback, something that they really haven't had in Denver since the departure of Peyton Manning after their victory in Super Bowl 50. Bootleg, Flacco. And that's complete to the tight end, Heuerman. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Check nickel.
Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. Look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. On 3rd down, here's Lindsay. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it. And some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Now Landry. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Baker Mayfield, the second-year quarterback from Oklahoma, will pilot this offense as the Browns get set for their first drive. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Let's meet the offense. Greg Robinson. Very, very talented.
What a man to set your offensive line with. Greg Robinson can do it all. Tremendous athleticism, great strength, just coming into his own.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Mayfield down. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 16 yards, a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
And that's their first sack of this game. But how about last week? 6 sacks. Great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. 3rd and long for Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Kill. Check. Up. Slam.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And some space here. That one 28 yards on the ground. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he's got it. And he's brought down. 10 more there and another first down.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
He'd have to. And he will not get away. He's sacked back around the 3-yard line. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
3rd down and goal. This Denver defense trying to hold up for one more play. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And this is caught for a Browns touchdown by Landry. Jarvis Landry, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns have taken the early lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 46. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
This is Royce Freeman, second-year man from Oregon. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's in. Travis Carey there to make the tackle. You don't see that a ton, do you? Or the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
That one goes for 24 yards. Setting up to throw, Flacco.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 9 catches, 92 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
Hey, we got four.
On second down, a run with Lindsey. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Third down, Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. And he'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping them from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And McManus able to put it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it. To the 29-yard line. We remind you that coming up later tonight, we've got a good AFC battle in Baltimore. The Super Bowl champs, New England, in town to take on the Ravens. And then tomorrow, Monday Night Football, the Cowboys and the Giants from MetLife Stadium to wrap up this first weekend in November. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
I would think as a play call, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Landry again the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think he might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket.
All day, baby, all day. Good. 180. 47. Hey.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
This is Hunt, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And they're going to get him down, but not before a pretty good run right there. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. So they need 2 yards here on third down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on third down conversions. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns.
Touchdown.
Kareem Hunt, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point up and through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And Denver getting set to take the field. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Tackle made by Demarius Randall.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Credit the sack to the always disruptive Olivier Vernon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now after the sack, Flacco and the Broncos come up 3rd and long. Here's Flacco off the play fake to Lindsey. Looking for Sanders here on the deep. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Well, you can just see this one coming, couldn't you? It's an obvious passing situation, 3rd and long. The defense is going to bring in 2 more defensive backs and say, you want to throw? Go ahead. We dare you. And it's just no one open anywhere as they come away with the interception.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join, who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
20. You can't block me. You can't. Bravo. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Mayfield to throw for it on fourth. Over the middle to Beckham. They were caught in no man's land that time, but the decision to go for it, that was the right one. It's a first down.
As a defender, I always found the slant route extremely difficult to cover unless you're able to jump on top of it early, because once he gets his hands on the ball, he's at full speed.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead.
Now that touchdown won't allow you to totally relax, but you can breathe a little easier now. Just increased their lead.
The extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Set to start another drive, Joe Flacco and the Broncos. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Flacco from the gun. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make it a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Looking to throw again on second down. Flacco, and he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Flacco now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Once more, it's Flacco. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll be second and about a yard. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when and told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Flacco off play action. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Greedy Williams, the rookie from LSU. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Final play of the half, Mayfield. They'll go screen here to Hunt. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Beckham and the Browns set to take over again. Creeping up on 1,000. Could get there on this drive, so a challenge for him to do that, but also defensively maybe a challenge for them to not allow that.
And that means probably kicking even more coverages to his side. And what that really means is Wherever he lines up, you will have a cornerback over in his area. Now, instead of blitzing your linebacker, drop him into coverage. Instead of the safety dropping into regular coverage, that safety moves into that area to try and discourage the quarterback from going to him. That means everyone else, win your routes. You've got an opportunity to catch passes now, too.
A little bit of a cat-and-mouse game. Now the throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. This quarterback now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Now Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. He's got Njoku over the middle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Mayfield over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 2nd touchdown. Down to the afternoon, and the Browns add 6 to their lead. The point after is good, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go, D.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but There are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And this hasn't been the typical game, no doubt, for Emmanuel Sanders. They've really limited him.
He's one of those players that provides a real spark when he gets going, and when he does it, it's felt by the rest of the team, and they're feeling it in this one because right now they're trailing.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it up, usually after about 3 to 4 steps.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jannard Avery, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick? Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Von Miller in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Flush to his right. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 27 yards there, a first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, second down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now a play fake here on first down. They'll buy some time right. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. And the incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield. Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be third down.
I think what we just saw their partner was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
Bit of a surprise. They ran it on third and medium. Proved to be the right call. First and 10.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know. Well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second.
And his first carry, he loses the football. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
These type of plays are backbreakers for our defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big 1st down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stock troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away. I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
The kick by Pinheiro is good, and their lead will swell up to 28. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Flacco leaves to Lindsey on the draw. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the 1st down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Cleveland, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season.